Hello, everyone. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hope everyone had a wonderful evening, or already, if you're in Europe or overseas, your day is going well. Good morning, Davey. Good morning, Waka Waka. What a mess. These markets are sort of a mess right now. They definitely are. Erasing all losses, going up 2% is a stay move up. Yeah, we're just getting the chop. These again, we're in volatility, lots of volatility. I don't think something fishy is going on. These are just the nature of the markets right now. I don't see anything fishy. Although now you brought up Tesla, so we don't need to talk about. Oh boy, good morning, Patrick. JPOW before the house. No way market should be up. Why does that matter? Market, is bad news good news, or is now? I mean, the whispering around is, well, we're going in to have a recession sooner rather than later, so that's good because the Fed will have to cut, and then we'll get more money back. We'll get more of the stimulus back. They won't be able to unwind their balance sheet, and it'll be free money for everyone. So is bad good? Is good bad? I don't know. I'm not smart enough to figure all this out. I can just trade the patterns. Good morning, Josh. Fed's bank stress tests are garbage. You know when they're not garbage is when stuff really starts unraveling and they realize that all their stress tests that didn't really stress test anything were flawed, and then it matters. Yeah, we've covered NIO in the past. Haven't looked at LI, but covered XPEV. But NIOs should have hit the rest of its at least a shorter term double bottom pattern. Good morning, Jacob. Good morning, Sashi. So yeah, good news and bad news. Who knows what news there's? By the way, we had jobless claims out earlier today. Slight uptick, but not. I mean, yeah, it's the highest like in 5 months. But that's still it's in forecast. This is they said yesterday. JPOW said yesterday in the testimony. They can even get to 4 to 4.5% unemployment, or what was another Fed speaker? There's too much stuff out there. But so this is nothing, and they're not going to change their course. Continuing jobless claims right in line. You see here. And that's about it. Now I'm paying attention in 35 minutes, 15 minutes after the open to all the PMIs that are coming out. Then starting at 9 Central, you do have the JPOW testimony, and that's really about it. I'll pay attention at 10 to the Kansas, even though it's a low importance, I'm going to pay attention to see how much this comes down from the previous. So that will even these little things are going to be hints for stuff, but it might not affect the market. By the way, let's get this out of the way. If you are new here, please do consider subscribing, ringing that bell, and hitting the like button. Longer term subscribers, please leave some comments and like the videos. All right. So let's see. Mickey, good morning, Mickey. J20 in 2013 all grade to no bank bailout of 2008 bail-in is agreed ways to say bye-bye to your money. Boy, you're even more pessimistic than I am, Waka. You really are. FOMC still has a 75 basis point for July. Remember, that's the end of July, still in negative gamma territory, so we can get the up and down. Nothing really in the open I was watching, but I am paying attention, as I mentioned yesterday, to FedEx after the close. Just wanted to keep that up there. So overnight, coming down, little double top, catching on the first, and then reversing at this point, updating the harmonic now, since we have that bigger pullback. So on a breakout play, the little area I'm watching is about 37.92. Either I got to get strong momentum through that, or I got to break it, retest that level as I talked about. So break, like it could even be on a 5-minute break, pull back, and really retest that level for a rotation up, not just buying the first break unless we are going with major momentum. Then the area, yesterday's highs, 38.05 area, then 38.26, 38.47 are the key areas. Do not ignore this 38.26. fair amount of selling pressure from before up there. But you break through there, then you could see some pretty decent momentum into this clear path, and this just isn't for today. You could see some clear path move up here to the next thing. Breakdown play for me, there isn't much. I mean, even if we pull back in the open 37.67, this ledge, the only key breakdown play would be around 37.40, and I'd need a breakdown either with momentum or a breakdown and a retest and a rollover if there's no momentum. And these targets are off, so what targets would I be using? Essentially, I'm watching about 37.25, and then if we break through there, this key area about 37.05. So it's short term, it's a breakdown or breakout play. Other than that, there just isn't any great plays. We're against the daily rotation zone. Now, if we can run up and close in the daily rotation zone, then I'll be targeting up here at about the 38.93 going into quarter end, or at least before quarter end, with a possible rollover into the last days of the quarter. Cycles on the daily still ratcheting up, but not rolling over yet. So we could still see some more choppy to upside price action. Good morning, options 22. Market up because of whale. Coco. Whales. Who are the whales, by the way? I mean, that's more of a crypto thing. The whales, you guys are crazy. All right, NASDAQ back into the rotation zone right here. I have to clean this up a little bit here. Coming back down, catching again on the first target. That's pretty much done. Where am I sitting with these? The major areas I'm utilizing. The breakout play for me is the minor breakout levels are about 11,700. 11,700. Then I am targeting the 11,743 area. Above there, if it can get some momentum, remember there's some clear path over here and a gap fill left behind. So 11,830, and then we have the 11,882 to the upside. The breakdown play is pretty similar. If we break down 11,588 for support, I can't really get on a major breakdown play until below 11, about 485 into this clear path. And then I would utilize 11,400, and then this major support area 11,316 to 11,305. There just aren't a lot of good setups right now. Nature of the markets. The only longer term thing is if we do close into the rotation zone, then I'm going to target this upper about 11,915 area, and first that gap fill I mentioned. So then I get some more upside potential if we can get the close into the daily rotation zone today. Cycles in the NASDAQ a little closer to top, but no rollover signal just yet. Dow, remember, there's no short-term pattern on that. The Dow breakout play is pretty much above 30,660. Then 30,767 prior harmonic there. And then 30,900. Breakdown play, first support is about 30,483. Then 33.46. See, that then there's 32.47. So there's nothing unless we get below this 30, about 270 for me to play any bigger breakdown play. Dow is the last thing I'm looking at today. Russell, just an absolute mess. Pretty much ignoring the Russell right now. There are no fantastic patterns in the Russell just yet. On a rally, the key area is 1713. And key pullback area. Let me just reverse this. Key pullback. Wow, I had it right before. Again, there just aren't a lot of good setups. 1668. The DAX was pretty nice. Come on. You know, we had that little double coming back down hitting all the target areas down there, and then a little reverse and dropping back lower. But that pattern's off now. Right now, you do have the bigger potential double. So that's the only longer-term play in the DAX. And the next minor area, we still have this little gap fill below that I'm watching. That full gap fill is to 12,859, and we have 12,854 is the harmonic. So that's downside target. If it starts slicing through there, the next major support area is until 12,605. Question, I can't remember the form and right leg of a double top or bottom using fibs. Is it 76.4? Use the GAN at 75. If you have to use fib, 76.4, but use GAN at 75 is stronger. And the higher quality ones are the 87.5 for GAN, but the minor one is 75. If it gets to 75, it is technically a double bottom that tests out like a double bottom. Good morning, Anissa. Crude is a mess too. The only thing in crude, by the way, this is not a legit double bottom because the second target is in here, but I am watching if we do break above 729, it's above the 4-hour rotation zone. So I'm watching this as the minor breakdown zone, and it was easier to just keep this up there. About 109.79 is the only target, then to the highs, which is another breakdown zone, and the 50 on the 4. So that's the reason I just have those targets up there, because they pretty much line up with here and here. So that's the only thing. That's why that's not technically a double, but I'm watching if it can't get there for another rollover play right there, unless we do close above that 1729. Nothing going on in the metals. They're a mess. Notes was really nice. Again, nearly finished the double pattern. Nearly finished the double pattern. So this is where, aggressively move up a stop because you don't want any rollover play in here. But that's pattern's done. And where it looks like it's going to be interesting to see. The rotation zone's not really important now because it's closing above it on the daily, or might. But I'm watching if it can get to the next push up above this breakdown zone. Then to get to this weekly and the 62.5 coming in at 118.14, get it close above there. Then I'm watching for a run to the other side of a weekly rotation zone. So the notes have actually been some of the best trading that there is. Dollar index still in consolidation, so nothing to do there. VIX. Again, remember we had that little sell-off into the afternoon and no little rally back in the VIX, and pretty much flat today. So for a continued bullish move, I really need a move to get below about 28.80. Bearish would be not if it starts breaking above today's already high, about 29.80. I'll start watching the choppy to bearish, but remember, we're a long way off from those breakdown plays. Let me get to the Qs. This is a 3. You asked if you QQQ triple top. Well, it's 3 tops. It wouldn't be a triple top because this would not be a double top, because a double top needs to reverse the move. So these are 3 tops in the same area. So what does that just tell me for the Qs? You start getting a breakout above about 284.75. Then you got the gap fill targets. So that's the upside Q, and the gap fill target would be to 288.71. That's the play. It's a breakout play for there. And we already, once it closed above the 62.5 again, yes, and it already has hit the 87.5 twice. So that's essentially you're playing a breakout above that 87.5 level, and then the target would be, the minor target would be the high from the 15th, but the major target is still this gap fill. So that's that. Key area you don't want it to drop below is about 278.06, because then we'd be targeting the gap fill that's still left back from the 17th to the 21st, this gap. Real quick, spiders, same thing. The breakdown play is below 370.29. The breakout play is above 378.50. If you get above 378.50, we still have to target that 87.5 and the other side of the daily or the 4-hour rotation zone at 382. And that breakdown play would be for the minor level would be 367.45. The major level would be to this close 365.84. What else? Apple double top. That's way too sloppy with the sideways, at least on the 1 hour. Nope. Let me see here for Apple. This is the gap harmonics. The key area I'd be watching is about 133.88. You get a close below there, then I'd start targeting that gap fill play with a weak NASDAQ. That's about it. It's filled this gap. It's done it a couple times. This is key resistance. But a move, if you do get a momentum move in Apple above about 137.25, let's see where that would take us. Then I'd be targeting the 139 to about 140 area with the other side of the rotation zone. And then a move above there. And this isn't just for today. This is for the next couple days. You remember you still have another gap fill there. So you do have another play higher, which would just pretty much be a return to the weekly rotation zone area before, and then longer term, it's still another rollover play in Apple for longer term. Good morning, Amit. Last question. Pre-market movements do not qualify a pattern analysis. No. It's too sloppy. So if you're going to try to do pre-market to get an edge, use pre-market in the future. Well, it's not really pre-market in the futures because the futures are trading. Use future price action to try to spot the plays for the Qs. The pre-market is just not deep enough in the Qs or the spiders, and you can get some false patterns. That's why I use the futures. By the way, Japanese 10-year, no big move today. So, and the yen rolling over with no big move in the 10-year. Bitcoin still going to be interesting to see if we do get the close in the daily rotation zone, because then we could get the little bigger pullback move. Cycles at the top, though, on the daily. So I'm watching if this does break down back below about 19,700, I'm watching for the next rollover play, or it would need to close into the daily rotation zone for a continued up move. Tesla, again, doubles pattern still in play. I'd be moving up a stop if you're playing that double pattern, and that would be above 669, 668.60 on a closing basis. Up slightly pre-market, but the targets still are 742. This is close enough that I'd move up a stop. 760.82 and then 778.77. Even with Elon's factory cash burning machines that we talked about yesterday. And it does, cycles can still run up higher in this. What is bad even before you get to 62.5, though, if you start breaking below the lows from the 21st, then you have the gap down below, and that would be the aggressive rollover play, but nothing in here just yet. It's very sloppy. And no, this is not a double top. Tesla 100% triple top 1 hour. No. It would just be if it does start breaking down below this low of this low of 701.50, I'd just go down 700. I'd start watching into this clear path move. And the first target would be the 50% of this run up. That's the only short play that I'd be watching for. I use market and volume profile? Yes, I do. I use them to spot key areas. It's just too much in depth to get into on this channel all the time. And then this would turn into a very long live stream. But you can use it. Watch for end of clear path moves. You can fine tune it using volume profile. That's a great thing. And also watch for key harmonic levels with volume profile levels. If I squint hard enough, I actually can't squint that hard. You are welcome, options 22. That's why, again, options 22, that's why I stress everybody, even if you don't trade the futures, watch the futures to help get your price action analysis for. And then if you want to trade the spiders or the Qs, or like the IWM, if you're watching the Russell, fine. Or the diamonds, if you're trading the Dow, fine. But really start to use the futures. You'll get, it's so much. Yes, and the Qs during the market hours have a lot of depth. The spiders do too. But you get all the additional price information from the European and Asian sessions, especially European sessions with high volume can come into the futures, and you get a lot better levels with them. That's why I stress that people utilize them. So with that, I'm going to wrap it up. We got 4 minutes to the open. Again, thank you everybody for being here. Sorry, there's not a lot of great patterns, but I'm not going to try to say there's setups when there aren't setups, because that wouldn't help anybody. Some days it's just best if you don't have something. Now, longer term, we get those closes into the rotation zones. We might have some good plays, especially setting up for the beginning of next week. Other than that, if you don't have anything, sit on your hands and don't force trades in this environment. We're also summer markets, and we still have stuff going on with Fed speak all the time. Oh, by the way, consumer sentiment's going to be huge tomorrow morning. So that's the next thing to really start prepping for. And Anissa's only trades futures, which is wonderful. But there's people who trade everything. That's why we cover a lot of things. There are people who trade stocks. There are people who trade futures. There's people you can roll these strategies in with options. You are welcome, Coco. I'm just trying to help as many people as possible with price action analysis, so then you can apply whatever you do trade, you can learn to apply it to that. With that, I will, unless something major happens in this morning and we get major movements, I might jump on at lunch. I'll put something in Discord if I'm going to. Otherwise, I will be back this afternoon for the wrap-up. Hey, Chris. Talk to everyone later. Bye for now.